Every time that I'm down, I rise up. Every time they hate, go harder. Every time I fall, get smarter. Every time I get it, every time I get it. Every time that I'm down, I rise up. Every time they hate, go harder. Every time I fall, get smarter. Every time I get it, every time I get it. Whoa, opposition can't touch me at all. I'm rising up every day and I never will fall. What you do, I see it all through a crystal ball.
Hello and welcome to FTN News Tonight. I'm GreatJakers1113. Sorry for that delay there. OBS was acting up a bit. Earlier, and we're back. And I made him. And I also earlier when we cut to the show earlier, I wasn't even ready. That was not intended. I apologize. But first, new nominations from the Foley administration. We're beginning to see more of his cabinet come together as they race against the clock to complete the cabinet before Sunday, which is Inauguration Day. Let's take a look. Sorry, I was just having a refreshment. We're now going to view their nominations. He has made many nominations, including that DOT nomination I was talking about earlier, who I wanted Secretary Human. I said I wanted Secretary Human to stay in charge of the DOT. But that is unfortunate. For me, unfortunately, that is not the case. I do not know the thoughts our viewers have on this. Yes, we're now going to read them all. First, Mr. Ralph Foley, as you remember last night, nominated Savage Yada to be Secretary of State. This one was controversial with Senator Rodden 5. Senator Rodden 5, whom is the one I asked about this. He said that he was going to he will try to fail the nomination if he could. And he says he's saying he's, quote, not fit for the job. I'm thinking we should wait and see, but I agree. I agree that, why did I say I agree? I meant to say that I can see why people would think he's unfit for the job. But we need to know what the foreign policy really is. So coming up later in the show, we will go back to the Foley campaign's old foreign policy and read that. Because we're expecting that Savage Yada will most likely stick to that foreign policy. And as you remember, he nominated Tactical Rock 101 to become Secretary of Defense. And these are the newer nominations. The first one is for the Department of Transportation, the DOT. As one of the most efficient secretaries in DOT history, in our effort to reconstruct America, I have brought back Bayanihan. Filipino to be the next Secretary of Transportation. We have many things in store for the DOT, and I have no doubt in his ability to lead my agenda. And another big one, he has nominated Tom Foley to be White House Chief of Staff. And the next one is big for one of our correspondents, Zinpak. One of our correspondents, Zinpak. He has nominated Deslinos to be the next Secretary of Homeland Security. Deslinos has been nominated to become the next Secretary of Homeland Security. That nomination was made at 3:20 today. And he intends to keep insert failure as his AP as my APNSA ever since his appointment. He intends to keep insert failure as his national security advisor. So insert failure, the current national security advisor, Ralph Foley, will keep him in office. And the next Attorney General, this is another big one, will be Ollie Fletcher. He's going to be the next Attorney General. He says Ollie has served as Deputy Attorney General for a while now and has excelled in that capacity. I'm proud to name him as my Attorney General for this term. Football Pro 140, one of the best DC players seen in his modern age. He has plans to lead this while an excellent leader. So Football Pro 140 will become the SWAT commander. And Dastic is going to become the Director of National Intelligence. So we're now going to go over the cabinet. We're going to go over the cabinet one more time. We're going to go over the cabinet. What was that? Oh. I'm so sorry that just something fell over on my desk. I just picked it up. We've had many bloopers here on FTN in our short history, but this is the best. This is one of the weirdest ones so far. Having to listen in on me pick up something that's fallen off my desk. My desk is a mess of wires. Part of my desk is like a mess of wires, but I was like right next to my desk is a huge mess of wires, like a bunch of like a big extension cord. Well, anyways, I'm going a bit on a tangent here. Here we're gonna now read the nominations one by one to become his Secretary of State. Savage Yada, Secretary of State. Tactical Rock 101, Secretary of Defense. Secretary of Transportation. Bayani Han, Filipino? Or is that an I? Is that no, that's an I. Tom Foley will be the White House Chief of Staff. Deslinos will be the Secretary of Homeland Security. Insert failure, National Security Advisor. Ollie Fletcher will be Attorney General, and Football Pro 140 will be the SWAT Commander, and Dastic will be the Director of National Intelligence. So those are the current nominations. Those are the current nominations made by the Foley transition. We expect there to be more to come in the period. We do not know if there will be more tonight, but that is a possibility, and if that happens, we will go on the air to announce it. Okay, my lemonade is empty. And in other news, we're going to continue on with the Foley transition talk. The Foley transition is racing again. He had about 6 days, and now he had less than that. And now we're waiting on nominations to come in, because these are surely going to be more. We still have tons of important nominations to go. So we're waiting. We're waiting on these more nominations, but we just had a lot of big ones, so they might slow down. I'm thinking the cabinet is going to stay somewhat similar to Nightmare's cabinet. I do not expect it to be a major shift, knowing that Ralph and Nightmare are politically knowing that they politically have very similar views. I wouldn't doubt if I'm not going to doubt the possibility that there would be a huge portion of this cabinet that are left over from the late Nightmare administration. That is a very possible thing, and I would not be surprised if that happened, because if that did happen, Ralph probably already knows these people, and he would probably feel comfortable with them, and he would intend to keep them in the position because both him and Nightmare would probably think they would be qualified for the position. So I do not know, but I know that there will definitely be leftovers from the Foley administration. I mean, from the Nightmare administration, but we don't know how much. Shit. So that is it. So there was going to be the leftovers, that is for sure. But now, okay, that is it. That is all we know at the moment. There are going to be leftovers, but how much? We don't know. We don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. So, anyways, I'm going to do a new segment called Q&A time, where the audience can ask me questions they have about Noosa, and I'll give them the best answer, and I can give them their best answers. And I'll give them the best answers. Here we go. Who's our viewer? Who's that one viewer right now? We only have one. I post the link in the group chat, in the FTN news group chat, and then John of Doom replies, "Give link." What? Okay. This has been not the smoothest episode so far. I mean, we don't got much to talk about. Other than the Foley transition, I just want to touch on one small thing. The OKManG's server is no longer the OKManG's campaign. So a lot of everything from there, they do not have it archived. I was hoping that they would have it archived, like the Foley campaign does. I still have full access to their campaign server. They could, which is a good thing. But anyways, we don't have access to anything related to the OKManG's campaign anymore. The server was given to somebody else, and now it is used for a community within the Liberty County. It's called State of New York, where they roleplay as New York, as the NYPD and stuff like that, and as New Yorkers. So that is what happened to his server. The Foley server remains untouched. that is what we know regarding the Fully server. So coming up, we're gonna let you go because soon we have another broadcast coming up. It's the Rockefeller Report. That's coming up next year on the Federal Television Network. Coming up next, the Rockefeller Report, only on FTN News and on the FTN Network. Thank you for watching. And I'm GreatJakers1113 wishing you a good night.